5 on each side. What's 185? Hold on. So it was 175 plus 35 on each side. So that clean was actually 243, not 233. No wonder it felt so heavy. So I PR'd by 10 pounds. Thanks, CrossFit Games, for actually checking my video and doing my math for me. I was so frantic on that lift, and I thought I was feeling so heavy, I had no idea what I even had on the bar. What a good day.
A lot of people got penalized. You got bumped up.
Yeah, let me redo the email. I just read it. I was like, video submission accepted, but there's a long paragraph, and normally it's just like one line. I'm like, hold on, that's really weird. It says, the score on your submission has been adjusted to reflect the accurate weight that you actually lifted. Your clean was actually 243. Your score has been modified, and the new score is valid. Should you wish to appeal the ruling, no thanks. You have 24 hours. That's hilarious.
That's so funny.
I'm so happy. I told y'all I was sitting on a PR, and hey, I actually hit one and didn't know it.
That's so funny.
So I loaded the bar wrong, and I was like, man, 227 flew up. If you go back and watch, I'm like, oh, I got this. Loaded the bar again. I don't know what got into me, but I think I threw a 10 on instead of a 5, and then I went to clean. I'm like, looked at Pat, and I was like, what happened? Like, my legs have nothing. So I made a jump from 227 to 243, which is probably why my CNS was like, WTF are you doing to me? So I'm really glad I fought even harder for it because I told you guys, I thought I was sitting on a PR. So it's fun to see like CrossFit recognize that and they adjusted it, because I think everybody gives them such, like, they're so hard on these judges and these rulings in the videos, which I personally believe that they should be. We should all be held to the same standard. And that's, for instance, some of you guys have commented on why Pat doesn't judge me. Not that he wouldn't hold me to a standard, he does, but I have somebody else who's a third party judge me because I'm not gonna argue with them, and I know that they're not emotional. Like, they obviously want me to make it, but they also probably don't care that much. I mean, they do care, but they wanna uphold the standard. So I always go with a third party judge just to take that tension off of me and Pat. But yeah, I think it's cool they did up my score, because if I was on the competition floor, actually, the judge should have confirmed with me, and the only one Pat judged for the workout was the strength. So Pat and I can't do math.
Yeah, both the ones I judged this year were pretty straightforward, pretty cut and dry.
Let me turn that around and just put your face on it. Yeah, so the two he judged were ones that were like, either I did the reps or I didn't, or I did the weight or I didn't, and clearly I did the weight and we still messed that one up. So Pat is no longer judging me in the future.
Yeah, anything there's like, it's helpful to have a good judge, whether it's pistols,
double unders, muscle ups,
things where there's lockout, things that actually need to be
wall
judged,
walks.
just not just good rep or bad rep. We make sure that we've got a third party doing that.
Yeah, I just think it's super important, and I honestly think, like, I know CrossFit can't probably enforce that, but I think across the board, it would be better if you did have like somebody who wasn't your husband or significant other or your best friend, because they're emotionally invested as much as you are. And so just having, like, we have one of our coaches who actually holds our gym to a very high standard, and I know no matter what, when I submit my videos, I feel very confident that my reps will be good, because if it's even questionable, he'll give me a no rep. And you can see that in the wall ball video. There were some that I got done, and I was like, hey man, I feel like that was over, and he thought it was a no rep, and that's what stands, and I respect that. And I just think it's really interesting. I've never seen a score be adjusted up. I saw Mal O'Brien's in the Open the Gate. She submitted 412 and they adjusted it down to 411. So you should get credit for what you do, and I fully believe that, and I think that's pretty cool.
Was that the biggest jump you've ever made?
Yeah, I would never make that jump.
It's definitely wouldn't recommend that to make a PR.
Yeah, don't do that. Like I said, my CNS was just like out of control. So yeah, I'm happy, because I told you all, I was like, man, going into that, I think I was frantic because I was so excited, because I've been feeling really good. And just to actually realize that I did PR when I thought that I could, and after seeing everybody's PR videos on Instagram and feeling like, oh, I couldn't do it, I feel a lot happier. So it's kind of cool. So here I am getting ready to clean 227. This is actually 227. I have a blue, a green, which equals 175, and then 2 10s on each side to get me to 215 plus a 5 and 2 1-pounders. So 227, I step up to the bar. I'm feeling really confident. Let's see how the lift goes. Pop right out of the hole. Timing feels good. I'm like, okay. That's when I started kind of a little smirk, like 235 is my PR. I feel like 227, feeling pretty good right now. So I asked Pat what I should jump to, and we decided 231. Let's see what I put on the bar. So I pull the 5 and the 1 off. I add a 10. So right now I think I'm going for 231. I'm already at technically 233 with a 33-pound barbell. So I have 3 10s on each side, and I don't know how I didn't add that up. For some reason, I'm thinking adding that 10 is getting me to 225. So you're gonna notice that I go ahead and I throw on a 2.5 in that 1-pound plate, which actually is 241, not 231, but we had no idea. You can see us trying to figure out the math right now. Oh, I even threw the blue on. So we went from 241 to 242. So I'm actually jumping from 227 to 242, which is a jump I would never make at these percentages. My current PR is 230 to 235.
This is 231, if I did my math right.
You even hear me say, if my math is right, and it clearly wasn't. First attempt, 242, not good. I kind of look at Pat like, what the heck just happened? Because in my head, I feel like I only jumped 4 pounds, and you guys saw what 227 looked like, but instead I actually jumped 15. I ate an applesauce and built back up. Attempt number 2. Woo! That is a new PR, and I had no clue. Sorry, that's actually 241, not 242. I don't know why I'm saying that. This 33-pound barbell math is really throwing me off, even when I'm watching back and using my calculator. Who would have thought I majored in accounting? So here we are again. We're trying to figure out what we should do. If I would have known that was 241, I would have moved on right here. But we are currently 6.5 minutes in, and I'm thinking that I've only hit 231, and I know that I have more in my legs. So I pull off that 2.5, that 1 pound and that half-pound plate, and I add a 5. So now technically what's on the bar is 243, but I think it's 233. I'm looking at Pat telling him I've just got nothing in my legs. I've been front squatting so well, I don't understand why I can't stand up this 233-pound barbell. So he's telling me just to be done. Here I am at the 10-minute mark. I'm giving it one more attempt. I get under it, and I really had to work for it, but I am so pumped to know now that was 243 pounds, not 233. I feel much more satisfied. It's funny looking back, that's a huge PR for me, 10-pound PR. I didn't have any celebration, and after the fact, I told Pat I was gonna do it again because I felt like I could PR. So I'm really excited just to have worked through that, even with how it felt, and to have been able to PR. I was much further behind in the time window than I wanted to be. I wanted to be done with my clean by about the 6-minute mark, and here you can see we are actually at the 11-minute mark. So I was a little bit behind for the bench press and the overhead squat, which made me totally frantic, but pumped that CrossFit was able to figure this out for me. And so not only, I don't really care, I mean, I do care obviously about the leaderboard and the points, but most importantly, I care more about the confidence and that I was able to hit a PR when I felt like I was sitting on one. So I'm really happy that I do know my body, and I'm pumped to have hit that number.
Stepping out flat, body hot like July. Have a friend on the inside, all I can say, oh na 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 na. No compromise, putting up day and night.